Well, hello and welcome. I'm Dr. David Hargroder with the Mini-Gastric Bypass, and I think we've actually got our technical issues all figured out. I'm here with Miss Carla Hubenthal, our patient care coordinator, and today we've got another interesting topic. Carla, tell me the topic you got for us today.
It is obesity is exhausting both physically and mentally. So I'd like you to start with the physical aspect of obesity. Why is it so exhausting?
Well, I think you're anytime you're carrying around an extra 100 pounds or more of weight, it's just the physical aspects of it certainly can play a role on your back and your hip and your knees and everything else. It's not just though that physical weight, it's also the fact that fat cells stimulate like an inflammatory process. And so you actually get more inflammation in your knees and all the different joints that there are. So it's not just that you're carrying around that weight that's exhausting, it's the actual inflammatory process that makes it feel so exhausting. With that extra weight, you're also putting an extra strain on your heart. And when your heart's not working as well, you're not getting as much blood supply to your muscles. And so you don't feel as strong. You're not getting as good a blood supply to your brain. So you're not thinking as clearly. I think about stories from patients. I think of Tanya, who was talking about, what motivated her to actually have the surgery was taking her son and his teenage friends to Silver Dollar City.
Yes.
And looking at that hill kind of at the entranceway, not a problem going into Silver Dollar City, but coming out and having to walk up that steep hill.
Yes.
She was just like, that was the moment. And you always hear that from various patients. There's always a moment where it's like,
Yes.
I can't do this anymore. I've got to find a solution. And I think of your story that you like to tell. I want you to tell that story because I think it's kind of funny. Your daughter, who's like a thin little petite thing, and
Yes.
and was not your biggest supporter as far as having the
Oh,
surgery.
she was terrible. Would tell me, put a headset on and run, Mom. She didn't understand what that meant when I weighed 320. But what you're referring to was Tony's welcome home party from Iraq. We were giving him a party, and Gina and I were going to make potato salad, and she was carrying a 20-pound bag of potatoes, just complaining like crazy about how heavy they were, how hard it was. And I just looked at her and I said, why don't you get 8 more of them and put them all over your body and put a headset on and run? And that, I will never forget that moment. She looked at me and understood that I had lost 159 pounds, and that's what I was referring to put
Right.
that back on into the bag of potatoes and what that would be like to run. And she looked at me and she said, Mom, I never really got it until now. She said, I had no idea what I was asking you to do. And
Yeah.
it's like,
I think
no, you don't.
that is I just love that story because it does. I mean, it helps put
Mhm.
things in perspective of
Yes.
what it's like to carry around that extra 150 pounds.
Well, and let me ask you, let's talk about it mentally. Okay, several weeks ago, I was out to dinner there's 14 of us in our serious group of friends. And one of our friends has a beautiful in-ground pool, and they said, "Well, we're going to have a pool party on July the 12th. We want everybody to come." So let me ask you, you received that invitation in front of all of your friends. What goes through your mind?
Oh gosh, I guess I ask myself, I wonder who else is going to be there. I
Mhm.
wonder, do I need to bring anything?
Sure.
It's do I have an updated bathing suit, or is the suit I'm wearing one that's going to embarrass my wife? Do I need to go out to the store and get a new one? Do I need to go and tan for a little while because my body is so white from being inside all the time? But I think for the most part, I'm excited about it, and just kind of wondering, what the vibe is going to be, how long it's going to last. Are they going to be serving food and barbecuing? What's it going to be like?
Well, see what goes through a 320-pound mind. If I was still at that weight, what would have went through my mind is, first off, oh my goodness, am I going to be able to get in and out of the swimming pool? Is there a ladder? Will I be able to get up and down the ladder? Is it going to have the white plastic chairs where, the feet just fold out when you sit in them? Or even worse, is it going to have reclining lounge chairs? Will I be able to get out of that? Will I be able to get on a float? And then, of course, the biggest question is, oh my gosh, they're going to see me in a swimming suit, just as you mentioned. And when you weigh 320, of course, you try to buy a suit that covers everything. And then you buy a cover up. And of course, you want that to be black. And it's 110 degrees out, and you're in a black cover up, so you look thinner.
Right.
Really. Well, I have to tell you, we went to the party this past Saturday, and 75 years old now, and I am proud of myself. No anxiety, no mental tension, not being mean to myself. So I have to say, I was happier, more proud of me at 75 than I was had I been invited when I was 53, weighing 320. So
Oh,
yes,
that's awesome.
it
One of
is.
I have so many little quotes that I get from patients, who tell me
Yes.
things. And I think, one of my favorites is, I used to sit on the sidelines watching life
Mhm.
go by, and
Right.
now I'm out there participating in life, being a part of it. And you hear so many stories like that, social
Yes.
anxiety, people being afraid or embarrassed not just for themselves, but afraid they're going to embarrass their children or their family members or whatever, just because of their weight. And it's really a sad situation to be in. So I'm really happy that we have something to offer people to be able
Yes.
to change that.
Well, and even after receiving the invitation several weeks ago, that anxiety builds and builds and builds until almost impossible to even enjoy yourself beforehand. And
Well,
then afterward, you still beat yourself up because you wonder what people thought of you weighing 320. So
and that's even if you build up the courage to go, because half the
yes,
people would probably just say thanks for the invitation, but
yes,
if I have to get in a swimsuit and stand around a swimming pool, I think a lot of them,
yes,
and I suppose probably the women are more concerned
yes,
about that than the men.
I
But it
agree.
is a reality, I think, for both. I think maybe the
Yes.
men keep it inside, but are probably still a bit as conscious of it as well.
Yes. Yes.
So
Well, and it's very true. And you've heard me say many times that the mini gastric bypass has given me my whole life back. Had I lost 1 more pound, I would have lost half of me. But in doing so, I found all of me. And that is really what we want to share with everyone, is
yeah,
so they can be who they are and be healthy and happy. So that's
absolutely.
it.
Well,
Yes.
the mini gastric bypass is a procedure. It's been around for well over 20 years.
Mhm.
Dr. Bob Rutledge started that procedure in 1997. Hard to believe it's
Wow.
been that long. And God rest his soul, Dr. Rutledge just passed away,
Mhm.
just this past year.
Yes.
Taught me the procedure. I was his first student 22 years ago,
Yes.
and we've been doing it ever since. So if anybody has any questions about the mini gastric bypass, you can certainly call our office. You can call Carla directly. One of the things I love about Carla, who's been working with me now, not just as a patient, but as our patient care coordinator for how many years now?
19 years.
19 years. Hard to imagine.
Yes.
But Carla just answers her phone. So if you're watching this, I mean, do me a favor. If it's in the middle of the night, please don't call her. I mean, she's not a call center. But, you know, if it's between 9 in the morning and 9 at night, I would say, yeah,
Yes.
give her a call. Tell everyone your phone number.
Call me at 314-807-7110. I am happy to answer you at any time. It is a joy for me. I thank
All right,
you for
Carla.
that joy.
Well, it's also a joy for me that we got all of our technical things worked out,
Yay,
and
yes.
hopefully it'll work this easily from now on. Hopefully we'll figure out a way to start inviting more guests on board. So anybody that happens to be watching or has an interest in joining us on any future episodes, please let us know by either texting or emailing us, and we'll be sure to get you on the next program. And if you've got an interesting topic that you'd like to hear about related to obesity or weight loss surgery or the mini-gastric bypass specifically, certainly let us know. Otherwise, we'll see you again next week, Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Time. Carla, you have a great rest of your week.
You too.